With that, in today's class, let us learn the Prarthana Shlokas, which we have already learned to recite it. Let us try to understand the meaning of the Prarthana Shlokas in today's class. Okay, I request the students who have not got a chance to please raise your hands so that you can recite the shlokas and then participate in the discussion. Nikunj Rawal, can you please read out the first shloka?
Mohoday. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Kuru Paramparam.
Uttamam. So as we have studied Subhashitani and also Udyogat Labhate Dhanam, etc. So for any of the shloka, etc., we will do a 4-step approach, which is first reciting the shloka, then we will do a padacheda, then we will do the anvaya, then we will do padapadartha, and then the bhavartha. So these are the steps that we will follow. Now let us try to do the padacheda of this. I will add one more student for the discussion. Krishna Prasad Mahodaya, please join the discussion. Nikunj and Krishna Prasad Mahodaya, you can answer my questions. Okay, first of all, are there any sandhis in any of these lines of the shloka? If there is, please. There is no sandhi there. Sada is one word, Shiva is one word.
Asmadacharya.
Okay, so in this shloka per se, yeah, all the words, I mean, there are no sandhis as such, except for here, Shankaracharya. Shankara and Acharya, Shankaracharya will be a Savarna Dirgha sandhi. Okay, apart from that, there is no evident sandhi other than these. Okay, so we'll now see the padacheda of this. So Sadashiva Samarambham. Sadashiva is basically the Shiva who originated or who is Anadi Shiva, who is the knower of all knowledge. So he is Sadashiva. Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. These are the words. Can you identify the vibhaktis of this? Linga and vibhakti. Sadashiva Samarambham.
Dvitiya
Vibhakti Ekavachanam. It is stealing a shabda. Akaranta stealing a shabda. Very good. Similarly, Shankaracharya Madhyamam.
Yeah. 2.1.
Also Vibhakti Ekavachanam. Sorry. And then Asmad Acharya Paryantam is also the same. Okay, one day is
3.1. Uttam Purusha Ekvachan, sir.
Uttama Purusha Ekavachan. Very good. This is Kriya Padam. Okay. Just told that Vandate, Vandete, Vandante. Vande. Aham Vande. This is Uttama Purusha Ekavachan. Guru Paramparam is again Dvitiya Bhakti Ekavachan. Okay. So the prose order will be Aham Vande. So if you ask a question, Vande, which is the Kriya Padam here, Vande. Kaha Vande? Aham Vande. So I bow down. Now if you ask Kam Vande athwa Kim Vande, whatever question if you ask, Guru Paramparam Vande. I will bow down to the entire Guru Parampara. Now, what is this Guru Parampara? Kidrishi Guru Parampara, if you ask a question. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmad Acharya Paryantam Guru Paramparam Aham Vande. I bow down to the entire Guru lineage, which was started with Sadashiva, and then in the middle it was Shankaracharya, Shankara Bhagavatpadacharya, and now it is Asmad Acharya Paryantam, till our Guru, the present Guru who is there. So till them, the entire lineage of the Gurus, I will bow down to that. So by just telling this shloka from Shiva, this is Sadashiva, Parameshwara, from him to Shankaracharya, and then next all the Gurus in the parampara of Shankaracharya, whoever have come, we will be able to remember and contemplate upon them. So that is the shloka. Let us see the padapadartha. It's very straightforward. Arambha, Samarambha is basically auspicious beginning. Okay, auspicious beginning or starting with the eternal Shiva. Sadashiva is the eternal Shiva or the Parameshwara. And next Shankaracharya Madhyamam with Sri Shankaracharya in the middle. Okay, and then Asmadacharya Paryantam up to our Guru. The lineage of Gurus is Guru Parampara. Gurunam parampara, Guru parampara. So this is again a two words are there here, Guru and parampara. Gurunam parampara, Guru parampara. So and then one day, aham one day. So that is the meaning of this. So Krishna Prasad Mohdaya, can you please read out the English meaning, the Bhavartha?
Bhavartha meaning, I salute the entire lineage of Gurus, starting with the eternal Shiva, Bhagavad Pada, Sri Shankaracharya, in the middle up to our Guru.
Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha. Well participated, Nikuj Mohdaya and Krishna Prasad Mohdaya.
Dhanyavada Mohdaya.
Dhanyavada.
Sure. So that is the meaning of this shloka, very simple and easy shloka. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmad Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara. In the same way, various other traditions also. So this is basically based on the Shankaracharya Parampara, Shishya Parampara, that we are telling this shloka. In the same way, for some people who learn yoga, they would have learned a similar shloka like this. So Hiranyagarbhad Arabhya, etc. There are a few other shlokas. Similarly, if any person is in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya or a Madhva Sampradaya, etc., they have their own Guru Parampara shlokas. So the intention of chanting a Guru Parampara shloka is very simple. That is, whenever we remember our Gurus, all the obstacles will go away and we will get that energy and the strength and the focus to accomplish the task that we are about to do. So there's another shloka that will signify this. Apada mauli paryantam gurunam akratim smaret tena vighnaha pranashyanti siddhyanti cha manorathaha. That is another shloka which says just by remembering the Guru in a physical form, that is apada mauli paryantam, from his foot to the head. If you just remember a Guru, that my Guru is standing in front of me, that itself will clear off all the obstacles and it will ensure that all our needs are fulfilled. Apada mauli paryantam gurunam akritim. Akriti is basically the model or his body. Akritim smaret. If you just remember, vighnaha pranashyanti. All the obstacles will go away. Tena vighnaha pranashyanti siddhyanti cha manorathaha. So that is the significance or the relevance why we should remember our Gurus. It is not just a spiritual Guru. It can be also a Laukika Guru. We should remember the Gurus who from whom we learned the first letters, may be in any language. Okay, that is from our school days till our next college, then post graduation, whatever, and then any of the spiritual Gurus. So we shall proceed further. Brinda Srinivasan Bhagini, can you please recite the next shloka?
Gajanana Padmargam Gajanana Maharnisham Anekadantam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe.
Uttamam. Shanta Bhagini, please join the discussion. So this is a very popular shloka and all of us would have learned this in our engage. So let us see this. Can we now try to do the Padacheda?
Gajanana Padmarkam.
Yeah, Gajanana Padmarkam. Yes,
Gajananam Aharnisham.
Very good.
Anegadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadandam Upasmahe.
Okay, this is the Padacheda. Very good. So when we tell together, it will become Anekadantam. Based on the Sandhi, it will become Anekadantam. Most of the people will be confused. Anekadantam, Ekadantam. How is that possible? Anekadantam. Danta means basically the tusk of an elephant, or basically we can take it as a teeth for reference also. Anekadantam, Ekadantam. These two are opposites. Ekadantam means one tusk. Anekadantam means not one but many tusks. How is it possible? But the actual way to understand the shloka is Anekadam Tam Bhaktana. That is how the split is. And what is the meaning of that? Let us see it in a minute. Next, Agajanana Padmarkam. Any sandhi in this word?
Agajanana
Very good. Agaja
Savana Dirgha
Anana
Sandhi. Anana
Padmarkam. Very good.
Padmarkam.
Okay, similarly, Gajanana.
Gaja Ananam
Very good.
Aharnisham.
Gaja Ananam Aharnisham. Very good. Gajananam Aharnisham. Okay. Good. So Agaja, who is Agaja? Do you know?
Parvati.
Parvati. Why? How does that relate to Parvati? Agaja.
Agaja. She is that. What is that?
Mountain. Very good.
Mountain.
Yes. Let us see that. Okay. Very good. So Agaja Anana Padmarkam. Agajanana Padmarkam. Here also Padmarkam also there is a sandhi. Padma and Arkam. Okay. So Padmarkam. So this is Savana Dirgha sandhi again there. Gajananam Aharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe. So these are the this is how the Pracheda will look like. The Anmaya will be Vayam Upasmahe. We will all worship. Okay. Whom do we worship? Kam Upasmahe athava Kim Upasmahe if you ask. Agajanana Padmarkam Gajananam Bhaktanam Anekadam Tam Ekadantam Vayam Upasmahe. Kada Upasmahe, when do you worship? If you ask a question, Aharnisham, day and night. Aharnisham Upasmahe. We will worship this deity who is Agajanana Padmarkam, who is Agajanana, who is Bhaktanam Anekadaha, and who is Ekadantaha. So Tam Ganesham Vayam Pratah Kale Sayankale Aharnisham Itukte Sarvada Upasmahe. We will worship him always. Now let us try to understand the meaning of this Agajanana Padmarkam. Agaja Anana Padmarkam. Agaha means mountain. Okay. Gaha means one which can move is called any movable object is Gaha, and one which cannot move, one which is stationary is called Agaha. So Aga, meaning of Aga is basically mountain, and one who was born from the mountain. So Agaja. So similar to Saroja or Vanaja, any of these words, whenever you come across, you can identify. Ja means something which has been born out of. So Parvati is basically Himavataha Putri. So that's why she has various other names also. Haimavati. Parvati is also similar to that. Parvatasya Putri. Okay, Parvati. That's how the word Parvati has come. The same way Agaja is basically Parvati. So Ganesha is like a sun. Okay, not S-O-N sun. He's a sun. That is true. But also like a sun, Surya, to the face of Parvati, which is like the lotus. So we all know that whenever the sun rises, the lotus bloom. In the same way, whenever Parvati sees Ganesha, she will be very much happy. So Agajanana Padmarkam, in that way, who brings happiness or in the face of Parvati, that is, being the sun, he will bloom the lotus-like face of Parvati. That is the meaning of this word, Agajanana Padmarkam. Arka means Surya. Arkaha is Surya. So we would have learned in Amarakosha as well the various names of Surya. Ravihi, Bhaskaraha, Arkaha, etc. And next, Gajananam. Gajananam. Gajasya Ananam Iva Ananam Yasya. That is how we will split this Samasa, Samastapada. So that means to say, a person having a face like an elephant, like that of an elephant. So that is why Gajananam. So Gajanana is basically Ganesha, one with the face of an elephant. Bhaktanam Anekadam. Anekadaha. Whenever we use similar to Ja, that is similar to this letter Ja, that means to say which is born out of, etc. Similarly, Da, whenever we see Da, it means to say Dadati. Anekam Dadati. So one who gives anything that his disciples ask for. Okay. So he who grants many boons to the devotees. That's another way to put it across. So he is Anekadaha. Bhaktanam Anekadaha. So for all the devotees, he will give lot of things. So Anekadam. Tam Tadrisham Ganapatim. Tadrisham Ekadantam, to him who has one tusk. Ekadantam. We can remember the story why he got why he is left with only one tusk. So if you remember the time of Mahabharata, when sage Vyasa asked to write Mahabharata, there was no other pen, or a pen in the sense like a writing material, like maybe the feather of a peacock or anything to write. And since Vedavyasa and Ganesha had one probably understanding that Vedavyasa should not repeat anything, he should be continuously telling, and Ganesha should not stop, and he should be writing continuously. That was the deal that they had made. Immediately, Vedavyasa started to narrate the story of Mahabharata, and not seeing anything, Ganesha took out one of his tusk and then he started writing in that. So that is why Ekadantam. So that Ekadanta, we will bow down to him, we pray, we worship that Ganesha every day and night, basically. Aharnisham. Ahaha means day, Nisha means Ratrihi. So Aharnisham is Ahoratram, Aharnisham, all these words are similar. So day and night. So Brinda Bhagini, can you read out the meaning now, the Bhavartha?
Bhavartaha meaning day and night. We pray to the elephant-faced, single-tusked Ganesha, who grants many boons to the devotees, who is like a sun to the lotus-like face of Parvati.
Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha, Brinda Bhagini and Shanta Bhagini will recite it and participated.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavadaha. So again, the significance of any Ganapati stotram is again to remove all the obstacles from our paths. So Ganapati is, or the Ganesha is known as Vighnakarta and Vighnaharta, one who creates obstacles and one who also removes those obstacles. So there are various names of Ganapati which tell this. So there's one nama which you might have heard, Dundhi Vinayakaha. There is one name given to Ganapati which is called Dundhi Vinayakaha. Dundhihi, the word itself, if for the people who know Hindi, they can correlate this. In Hindi, the word, the meaning of the word to search is basically dhoond. Kya dhoond rahe ho? These things we will ask, right? Dhoond. So Dundhi means a person who searches for the obstacles and kills them. So Ganapati is one who will search for obstacles in any way, and then he will remove those obstacles. That is why his name is Dundhi Vinayaka. So let us remember Ganapati in all our journey, so that any obstacles that may come will be removed. Okay, we shall go to the next shloka. The third or the shloka about the Sharadamba. Arun NN, can you please read out the shloka?
Namaste, Mahoday.
Namaste.
Sharada Sharadam Bhoja Vadanambuje Sarvada Sarvadasmakam Sannidhim Kriyat.
Uttamam, well recited. I will add one more student. Aruna Bhagini, please join the discussion. Let us try to understand this shloka. It's a very beautiful shloka where we can see the same word is repeated twice everywhere. Sharada Sharadam Bhoja Vadanambuje Sarvada Sarvadasmakam Sannidhim Kriyat. So this kind of poetic way of expressing is called, this is basically, it's part of Alankara Shastra. The specific Alankara that is being used here is a Shabda Alankara. Shabda Alankara is basically playing with the words, the sound actually, and this is called as a Yamakam. So Yamaka means repeating the same word again and again in the shloka, and each time it is repeated, the meaning could be different. So let us try to understand that in this shloka. So Sharada, okay, can you split any sandhi here? Sharadam Bhojavadana.
Savarna Dirgha Sandhi.
Yeah.
Sharada
where?
plus Ambhoja.
Very good. Sharada Ambhoja Vadana. Very good. Vadanambuje.
Vadana plus Ambuje.
Vadana plus Ambuje. Both places it is Hraswa only. Sharada Ambhoja and Vadana Ambuje. Yeah. Sarvadasmakam.
Sarvada plus Asmakam.
Yes, here it is Dirgha. Sarvada Asmakam. Sannidhim Kriyat. Okay. Let us try to see the Padacheda. It's the same thing. Sharada, Sharadam, Bhoja, Vadana is one word. Sharadam, Bhoja, Vadana is one word. Vadanambuje, Sarvada, Sarvada, Smakam, Sannidhim, Sannidhim, Kriyat. Oh, Kshamyatam, I haven't split here. It is Sarvada, Sarvada, Asmakam. Okay. So I'll update this slide of the Padacheda. Sarvada, Asmakam, Sannidhim, Sannidhim, Kriyat. Let us try to see the Anmaya for this. Sharadambhoja Vadana Sarvada Sharada Sarvada Asmakam Vadanambuje Sannidhim Sannidhim Kriyat will be the Anvaya for this shloka. So let us try to understand each of these words and try to get the meaning of each of these words, and then we will be able to appreciate how this shloka is so beautiful. So Sharadambhoja Vadana, Ambhoja, similar to the previous way, shloka we saw Agaja. So here also, Ja means one who has one which has been born out of. Okay, Ambhoja, Ambha means water. Okay, Jalaja, Ambhoja, or Salilaja, any of these are equivalents. One which is born in water is basically a lotus. Ambhoja is lotus. Sharada, Sharada means one which is related to Sharat Kala, the autumn season. Sharan Navaratri Utsava, etc. We celebrate Navaratri during Sharat Kala, right? So Sharat Kalasya Kamalam. So one lotus which is bloomed during the season of autumn. So that lotus-like face, whoever is having, that person is Sharadambhoja Vadana. So one with the face like autumn lotus, that is, again, here it is Sharadamba itself. Okay, Sarvada. So Sarvada has two meanings. One is Sarvada is always. Another one is Sarvam Dadati iti Sarvada. So one who gives everything. Sarvam Dadati. So that Sarvada is the second word that we are seeing in the Anvaya. So Sarvadam. Okay, yeah. So that is the Sarvada that is we are seeing in the second. One who gives everything. Sharada, goddess Saraswati. Sarvada, Punaha Sarvada we are using to give the understand it as always. Asmakam, our. Vadanam Buje, on our face or our mouth, which is like lotus. Okay, let it become like lotus. That is the Prarthana that we are actually doing. Sannidhim. Sannidhi also has two meanings. One Sannidhi is proximity or near or something like that. One more Sannidhi is Sat Nidhi, Uttama Nidhi. Nidhi is basically a treasure or something like that, or just prosperous. Okay, Sannidhim, Sannidhim Kriyat. Make our proximity with or have a prosperous proximity with us. So that is what is the Prarthana. Sannidhim, Sannidhim Kriyat. Let her do, or let her bless us with this. What is that blessing that we are asking for? That Sharadambhoja Vadana, one with a face like autumn lotus, that means one who is always happy with that brilliance in the face itself. Let her, one who gives everything to us and always, let her be with us with, or have her prosperous presence within us. So that is the Prarthana that we are trying to do here. So Aruna Bhagini, please read out the meaning or the Bhavartha.
May Sharada, the bestower of everything, who has a face like the lotus of the Sharada season, bless our Sharat season, bless our lotus like mouth with her prosperous proximity.
Uttamam. So this.
Sir, one doubt is, sir. Sir, is here Sharada Ambhoja or Sharada Ambhoja?
Sharada Ambhoja.
Okay, Sharada.
Yeah, Sharat Kalasya idam Sharadam. It will be a Sharadam because Ambhoja is basically a Napumsakalinga Shabda. Ambhojam. Okay, so Kamalam. These are Napumsakalinga Shabdas. So Sharadam Ambhojam, Sharadam Bhojam. Okay, that's how the word will be.
In the previous, like Gajanana Padmarkam, Agaja Anana or Agaja Anana?
There also Agaja. So there Agaja Anana. Okay, so there what will happen? Agaja will be the right one, because Parvati, we are referring to Parvati, and hence the Strilinga Rupa has to be used. So probably it is Agaja hyphen Anana is what I have put maybe. So it is Agaja Anana. Okay. Agaja is there, it is a Dirgha. Dhanyavadaha. Thanks for bringing it. Okay. Dhanyavadaha. Thanks for the participation, Aruna Bhagini and Arun Mohodaya. So Sharada Sharadam Bhoja Vadana Vadanambuje Sarvada Sarvadasmakam Sannidhin Sannidhin Kriyat. So it's a very important and a very beautiful shloka, which our Jagat Gurus, Sri Bharati Tirtha Mahaswamikal, also uses this shloka whenever any Anugraha Bhashanam is being given. So Sa Sharadamba Asmakam Mukhamboje Sarvada Bhavatu. That means to say, we should be always knowledgeable, and whatever we speak should be like nectar. So that is what is the prarthana that we are doing in this shloka. So always, if you remember, Guru, Ganapati and Sharadamba, these are the three deities whom we should always remember. We should remember them every day. Not that we shouldn't remember any other deities or anything like that, but these are the three very important, because the Guru is the one who removes all the obstacles and removes all the ignorance in us, and he will give us the knowledge. Ganapati, who removes all the obstacles, and Saraswati, who bestows us with the knowledge. So that is the reason we always say Guru Ganesha Sharada Dibhyo Namaha, or any of these lines. So our salutations to the Gurus, and then the Ganapati, and then the Sharadamba, and then of course to our Ishtadeva or the Kula Devata, and so on. We'll proceed further to the next shloka. So Shivaswami Mohodaya, can you please read out the next shloka?
Ram Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram.
Vidita Kila Shastra Sudha Jaladhe Mahitopanishad Katitartha Nidhe Hridaye Kalaye Vimalam Charanam Bhavashankara Deshik Me Sharanam.
Uttamam. Well recited. Dhanyavadaha. I will add one more student. Gayatri Bhagini, please join the discussion. Okay.
Ram Ram Mohodaya.
Ram Ram Ram. Let us try to understand this. Shivaswami Mohodaya and Gayatri Bhagini, please you can answer the question. Vidita Khila Shastra Sudha Jaladhe. Can you identify the words in this? And can you split if there is any sandhi?
Vidita Akhila
Shastra Sudha Jalate.
Very good. Jalate. Yeah. Same way, the second word.
Mahita Upanishad. Okay. Mahita
Upanishad.
Arthanidhe.
Very good. Mahitopanishad is Mahita Upanishad Kathita Arthanidhe. Very good. Then the remaining things is straightforward. Hridaye Kalaye Vimalam Charanam Bhavashankara Deshika Me Sharanam. So there's no other difference there. Let us see the Padacheda. Can you identify the vibhaktis of this? Vidita Khila Shastra Sudha Jaladhe.
Saptami vibhakti?
No.
Vidita.
Okay. Jaladhihi is the word. Okay. Jaladhihi is the word. Jaladhi means ocean or a big water body or something like that. Okay. Jaladhi. Ikaranta Shabda. Kave. Where will you see Kave? Kave is Sambodhana Prathama Bhakti. Okay, this is Sambodhana Prathama Bhakti. Similarly, Mahitopanishad Artha Nidhe. Nidhi is the word. Nidhe. Nidhe. So this is also Sambodhana Prathama Bhakti. Okay. Next, Hridaye Kalaye.
Hridaye Kalaye. Saptami Vibhakti Ekvachanam.
Saptami Vibhakti.
Hridaye is Saptami Vibhakti Ekvachanam. Very good. Kalaye.
Saptami Ekvachanam.
Yeah.
No.
Sambodhana.
This is a Kriya Padam. Kalaye is a Kriya Padam. Okay. So this is Uttama Purusha Ekavachanam. Okay. This is Uttama Purusha Ekavachanam. Kalaye is Kriya Padam. Okay. Next, Vimalam Charanam.
Dvitiya Vibhakti Vimalam.
Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachanam. So both of these are Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachanam. Vimalam Charanam. Okay. Bhava Shankara Deshika. Bhava.
Bhava Shankara Deshika.
Bhava.
It's Bhavan.
Bhava.
Is it
Bhavati. Bhavati Shabda. Basically, it's dhatu.
Bhavati Ekavachanam?
Lot lakara madhyama
Prathama
purusha.
vibhakti.
Madhyama purusha ekavachanam. Okay. Bhava. Tvam bhava. Shankara Deshika. Again, it's Sambodhana Prathama Vibhakti.
Me Sharanam.
And me. Me is which vibhakti?
Me. No, me.
Okay. Me is here mama.
Mama.
Vibhakti.
Shashti.
Ekavachanam. Sharanam is Prathama Vibhakti ekavachanam. Okay. Now let us try to understand the Anvaya for this. He Viditakhila Shastra Sudha Jaladhe. He Mahitopanishad Kathitartha Nidhe. He Shankara Deshika. Tava Vimalam Charanam Aham Hridaye Kalaye. Punaha He Shankara Deshika. Me Sharanam Bhava. So that is what, that is how the Anvaya of this shloka is. Now let us try to understand each of these words. So Anvaya is very straightforward. Hridaye Kalaye. Kalaye means to contemplate upon or to think about, etc. So I always think about your feet. That is your lotus feet, basically. That is what the Shishya here is actually telling it. So who is basically the Totakacharya, who gets the name as Totakacharya. His Purvashrama name was Giri. So Giri will get this name Totakacharya. Because he composed this shloka, a set of shlokas in the meter or in the chandas Totaka Vritta, and hence he was named Totakacharya. Now let us see. So he says, Viditakhila Shastra Sudha Jaladhe Mahitopanishad Kathitartha Nidhe Shankara Deshika He Guru Tava Vimalam Charanam Mama Hridaye Aham Sada Kalaye. I will always remember your golden or lotus feet in my heart. Ataha me sharanam bhava. Be always my refuge. So always I will I will come to you. I will surrender to you. Please accept me. That is the meaning of this shloka, the overall meaning. Let us try to understand it further with the Padapadartha. Vidita Akhila Shastra Sudha Jaladhe. So there are 5 words. Vidita Akhila Shastra Sudha Jaladhe. Jaladhi means like an ocean. Sudha is basically nectar or amritam. Shastra is basically any of the shastras like Vyakarana Shastra, Nyaya Shastra, Vedanta Shastra, etc. Shastra. Akhila Shastra, Akhilam meaning or Nikhilam, Akhilam, Nikhilam, all these words to mean to say entire or all. Okay. Vidita, Vidita means one who has understood. Okay, or one who knows about it. So he is Vidita. Okay. You are a person, O Guru, you are an ocean of knowledge. With what kind of knowledge that you have, or what kind of ocean is that, if you ask a question? Akhila Shastra Sudha, the nectar that has been taken out from all the Shastras, not just one Shastra, but all the Shastras, that is Akhila Shastra Sudha. And you are an ocean of that kind of a knowledge, or that kind of a nectar. So, the one who knows the ocean of nectar of all the Shastras. So that means to say, you are a Sarvagnya. You are a Sarvagnya. You know everything. So I'm going down to you. That is the first phrase. Vidita Khila Shastra Sudha Jaladhe. So this is a compound word. Let us not worry about which samasa it is, etc. because it's a very complicated one to understand at this level. Try to understand different words and how they are connected with each other. Akhila Shastra, all Shastras. Akhila Shastra Sudha, the nectar out of all Shastras. And Akhila Shastra Sudha Jaladhi, the ocean formed by taking the nectar out of all the Shastras. And Viditaha, Vidita is one who knows this ocean, or one who is the ocean himself. So that's how we can understand the meaning of this word. Next, Mahita Upanishad Kathita Artha Nidhe. Upanishad Kathita Arthaha. Kathita Arthaha, the word Kathita Artha means the actual meaning that is being told. That is Kathita Artha. The fact, you can take it as a factual explanation or anything like that. Of what? Mahita Upanishad, not the great Upanishads. Mahito Upanishad is great Upanishads. And he is a nidhi, he is a treasure trove of that knowledge, of the supreme Upanishadic knowledge that Shankaracharya possesses. And hence, Mahitopanishad Kathitartha Nidhe, hey, Mahitopanishad Kathitartha Nidhe, hey, a person who knows the real meaning or the real essence of all the great Upanishads, I bow down to you. So, oh, the one who has understood the meaning of the great Upanishads, one who is the treasure trove of the great Upanishads, that is actual meaning. Shankara Deshika, O Sri Shankara Bhagavat Pada, a sannyasi, a Shankara who is in the form of a sannyasi. Vimalam is pure, Charanam is the feet. I will always contemplate, I will always think about your lotus-like feet, or which is very pure feet in my heart. Hridaye kalaye, mama hridaye, hridaye, in my heart, kalaye, I always contemplate. That means to say, I'm keeping you in my heart. Me sharanam bhava, become my refuge. So if I'm surrendering to you, I'm bowing down to you, please accept me and become my refuge. That is the meaning of this shloka. A very beautiful shloka in the Totaka Chandas. So now, Gayatri Bhagini, can you please read out the meaning now?
O spiritual Guru Shankara, the one who is the knower of the ocean of nectar of all Shastras, one who is a treasure trove of the real meaning of the great Upanishads, in my heart, I meditate upon your pure faith. O Shankara, be my refuge.
Uttamam. Hope this shloka is clear to all. So we shall proceed further. Dhanyavadaha Shivaswami Mahodaya and Gayatri Bhagini. Thanks for the participation and reciting the shloka well. Vidita Khila Shastra Sudha Jaladhe Mahitopanishad Kathitartha Nidhe Hridaye Kalaye Vimalam Charanam Bhava Shankara Deshika Mesharanam. That's how this shloka is. We'll go to the next one. Okay, let me call out Jayalakshmi Bhagini. Please, can you please read out the shloka?
Namo Namaha, Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram.
Narayanaya Nalinayata Lochanaya Namavasheshita Maha Balivaibhavaya Nana Chara Chara Vidhaya Kachanmat Desha Deshanabhi Putaya Purushaya Namah Parasmai.
Uttamam. I'll add one more. Rajeshwari Bhagini, please join the discussion.
Ram Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram. So let us try to do the Padacheda first. Narayanaya, there's no sandhi or anything there. Nalinayata Lochanaya. Can you identify different words in this phrase?
Nalinaya.
Yeah. Any sandhi first of all.
Nalina Ayata.
Very good. Nalina Ayata Lochanaya. So there are three words. Nalina Ayata Lochanaya. Next. Namavasheshita Mahabali Vaibhavaya. Can you identify any sandhi?
Nama Avasheshita. Nama Avasheshita.
Very good.
Mahabali
Vaibhavaya. Yes. So there are four words. Nama Avasheshita Mahabali Vaibhavaya. Vaibhavaha Tasya Tasmai. So that's Chaturthi Vibhakti. Next. Nana Charachara. Can you identify now here?
Nana Acha.
No.
Nana Chara.
Nana
Charachara. Nana Charachara. Vidhayaka Janmadesha.
Nabhi
Putaya
Purushaya
Namah Parasmai.
Yes. Charachara is Chara Achara. So there's a Savarna. Okay. Chara and Achara. Okay. Let us try to see the Padacheda and the Padapadartha of this. Very easy one. We will try to understand it easily. Narayanaya. All the words in this shloka are in Chaturthi Vibhakti only, except for Namaha. Okay. Namaha. So we know this grammar rule, right? Whenever we use Namaha, Swasti, Swaha, Swadha, Alam, Vashat. So whenever we use these words, the corresponding nouns will be in Chaturthi Vibhakti. So Narayanaya Namaha, Nalinayata Lochanaya Namaha, Namavasheshita Mahabali Vaibhavaya Namaha, Nana Charachara Vidhayaka Janmadesha Nabhiputaya Namaha Purushaya Namaha Parasmai Namaha. So all the words are in Chaturthi Vibhakti in this shloka because Namaha is being used. So if instead of Namaha, if suppose say I wanted to use, or the poet wanted to use Namami, in that case Narayanam Nalinayata Lochanam Namavasheshita Mahabali Vaibhavam, etc. So we would have used Dvitiya Bhakti in that case. Whether if it is Namami or Vande, any of this, then it would have been in Dvitiya. Since Namaha is there, we have Chaturthi Vibhakti here. Okay. So we'll see the Padapadartha of each of these words. Before that, the Anvaya. Narayanaya, Nalinayata Lochanaya, Namavasheshita Mahabali Vaibhavaya, Nana Charachara Vidhayaka Janmadesha Nabhiputaya, Parasmai Purushaya Namaha. So that's the only change. Remaining all the words are basically the adjectives to Narayana only, to Supreme Vishnu. So all the words are to him only. Okay, let us see the meaning of these words quickly. Narayanaya to Narayana. Nalinayata Lochanaya. Nalina Ayata Lochana. Okay, so these are the three words. We know the other name for Vishnu is Kamala Nayana or Kamala Nabha, Kamala Nayana. Both these names are there. Kamala Nayanaha, why did he get that name? Because there's a very beautiful story. He was worshipping Lord Shiva, and then he wanted to do a Sahasranama. Okay, but then Shiva wanted to see what will he do if there's a shortage of the flowers. That's what he will try to do. That is a leela. That is to say, how a true devotion should be. So there was that is the 1008 flowers he had to offer. There was only 1007. So there was no another flower. So then he remembered he wanted to do it with Kamala flower only. That is with lotus. He remembered he has one more name which is Kamala Nayana, right? Or you can associate in both ways. So he tells, okay, my eye itself is one of the lotus, and I will offer it to Shiva. So you can say it both ways. So because of that, he was called Kamala Nayana, or his eyes were so beautiful like a bloomed lotus, and hence he was called Kamala Nayana. So Nalina means also Kamala or the lotus. Ayata, this word Ayata we have also seen in another shloka. If you remember, Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra. Pulla Aravinda Ayata Patra Netra. We had seen in Prathama, the shloka. Ayata meaning one which is wide open or one which has been bloomed in full. That is the meaning of Ayata, which is spread out. That is Ayata. Nalinayata Lochanaya. That is one whose eyes are wide like the lotus and beautiful like the lotus. That is the meaning of Nalinayata Lochanaha. Namavasheshita Mahabali Vaibhavaya. Nama Avasheshita Mahabali Vaibhavaya. Mahabali, we know Bali Chakravarti. And his grandeur, Vaibhava. Mahabalehe Vaibhavaha. Mahabali Vaibhavam. Okay. So that grandeur of Mahabali was just left to only the name. Nama Avasheshita. The entire grandeur was erased completely and only the name was left around. So in the Vamana Avatara, Vishnu takes the Vamana Avatara and puts his Bali to the Patala Loka, and his entire grandeur will just get lost in that. So that is why only the name is left out. Nama Avasheshita Mahabali Vaibhavaya. So Nama Avasheshita, only the name was left. That is the meaning. That means the entire grandeur was completely erased. So Mahabali Vaibhavaya. So that kind of Vishnu, I bow down, or my salutations to that kind of Vishnu. Next, Nana Charachara Vidhayaka Janmadesha Nabhi Putaya. We know Kamala Nabha, that is from his Nabhi Pradesha, the Kamalaja, basically, that is the Brahma, was born through his Nabhi. And who is this Brahma, if you ask a question? He is Charachara Vidhayaka Janmadesha. So he is the person, he is the creator of all the moving and immoving and the stationary objects. So Nana Charachara, not just one, Nana Vidha. So he is the creator of all kinds of, or the various moving and stationary beings of stationary objects. And he was born from the Nabhi of Vishnu. Tadrashaya. So Nana Charachara Vidhayaka Janmadesha Nabhi Putaya Tadrasha Vishnave Purushaya, the Supreme Purusha, Parasmai, that Supreme Being, salutations, our salutations, Asmakam Namaskaraha, or salutations to that kind of Vishnu. That is the meaning of this shloka. So, Rajeshwari Bhagini, please read out the meaning.
Salutation to Narayana, the Supreme Being, the one whose eyes are wide like the lotus, who completely erased the grandeur and pride of Mahabali in Vamana Avatara, from whose navel the creator of all living and non-living things, that is Brahma, was born.
Uttamam.
Here, Vidayaka is what? Vidayaka?
Vidhayaka, dha is dharane. Okay, that is the dhatu. Vidhayaka
Okay.
is one who makes something manifest. That is also a meaning. In general, what we can understand is charachara vidhayaka is one who is creating these charachara, all the chara and achara. So
Okay.
charascha, acharascha, charachara. So both moving and immoving. So moving is basically all the animals, all the living beings, and achara is one which are not moving, like the mountains, etc.
Okay.
So all these things, he is the creator of all, the entire universe. That is the meaning here. Sure. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadaha ji.
Well, dhanyavadaha. So this kind of completes the meanings of the shlokas, of the 5 shlokas that we were learning from the first day of the class, and now it completes the meaning. When we understand the meaning, and now when we chant these shlokas, it gives us even more happiness that, okay, whom am I bowing down to? What kind of Vishnu he is? So though we would have learned the shloka, we would have memorized it, but when we add the meaning to it, obviously there is a kind of satisfaction, or the content. Okay, yeah, I'm bowing down to a Vishnu who is the creator of the creator, who is the creator of the creator, that is Brahma. So this way we can actually enjoy chanting the shloka, as well as understanding the meaning, and more involvement in our worship can be seen. But one more important point, knowingly or unknowingly, okay, without whether we know the meaning or we don't know the meaning, just by chanting the shlokas, we will get the grace of Bhagavan. So that is also one more point that we should remember, because for each and every shloka that we come across, we will not be in a position to understand the entire meaning, or it may not be available anywhere to read through, etc. But that should not be a reason for not learning it, for not memorizing it, and so on. So memorizing a shloka is different, understanding a shloka is different, implementing it and feeling about how this shloka is coming up is different. So all these things are different. So that is just passing by comment that we should learn the shlokas, and as and when we keep on chanting the shlokas, automatically the meaning of those shlokas also will come to our mind. So that is the beauty of repetitive learning of, or repetitive seeing of a few words, and so on. So hope all these shlokas are clear. So now let us proceed further.